Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode. And today we are here for run number 15 for the Malaysian Grand Prix. And if you guys did miss the last one in Singapore, then do check that one out. Round 14 in the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screen, because that does dictate how this episode is going to go out in terms of the way it works out. So essentially, you guys voted in quite a lot, and I really thank you guys for voting in the last two polls in the last episode. And based off of your feedback, I've taken action accordingly, and basically, in short, based off of the last time I checked the poll results, it was 70-30 to maintain practice and do the R&D, and it was 70-30 to start from the back of the grid. So pretty much I've taken those actions and I've applied them to the career mode. So there'll be no more qualifying. We will start from the back, and we will continue to do practice sessions and get R&D points until no longer possible. Now, the situation going through this race is the following. We can do R&D for this race, and we are going to do, I can tell you now, a double upgrade at the end of this episode. So do stay tuned to check that one out at the end of the video. But these will be the last two upgrades we make on this car. Reason being is because the upgrades that we have left on the R&D tree, they're all 4 to 6 week upgrades. Essentially, they won't arrive in time before the end of the season, so there's literally no point in upgrading any further. So I've put on two major upgrades at the end of this episode, so do check those out at the end. But we're now going to run you through the story of practice. Now, the car went really well, I've got to say. I feel confident around here. I don't enjoy Malaysia that much, so it's good for me to have a car underneath me that I can feel confident with, especially when I'm coming from the back of the field. And practice went really well. We got all the benchmarks and hit all the maximum points, and I can't really complain as we now move into Sunday. And the grid's looking pretty competitive. Sebastian Vettel starts, I believe, on the front row, and Bottas, I think, is on pole in the Mercedes, so fair play to him. And pretty much our rivals are Perez and Vettel going into this race, so we're looking to try and beat those two guys starting from the back, or if not, try and limit the damage and do some damage limitation. But we're now going to run you through the grid, and I'm going to leave it to Crofty to take you through the starting 20.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ocon, Sergio Perez, and Verstappen, Massa, Hulkenberg, Alonso, and Lance Stroll, Palmer, Grosjean, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Kvyat, Ricciardo, Sainz, Kevin Magnussen, and Pascal Wehrlein. Ericsson and a Ferrari rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right then, here we are on the grid at Malaysia, starting from the back, P20, and it's going to be an enjoyable and interesting race for a change. I'm looking forward to the challenge, something I've not had in a while, and actually having the car to go through the field is going to be really, really exciting. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to it. Like I said in practice, it's sort of by popular demand what you guys pretty much asked for based off of the poll results, to do practice and start from the back. So I'm looking forward to it. Malaysia is a track that I'm 50-50 about. I don't particularly enjoy it. So that's going to add to the challenge a little bit in this situation. I feel like I'm pretty much just replicating what Vettel did in last year's Malaysian Grand Prix when he started last and finished in P4. So that's going to sort of be the challenge we're aiming for today. However, there is one crucial element that we have in our favour starting outside the top 10, and that is our strategy. Now, as you can see on screen, we are going to start on the softs, transition up to the mediums, one-stop strategy, and try and be as quick as possible with only one travel through the pits. Now, as I lose my voice, we're going to continue on in terms of strategy with the fuel being very, very low. 24.5 laps. I'm going to go a little bit higher because I'm going to be pushing through the fuel, so I'm going to go 26.5. I'm still under, but I'm still above the recommended, because this car is very good on fuel now. So, hopefully the race goes well for us and we can try and make our way through the field quite nicely. It's critical we keep our front wing in one piece through the first lap, and we can just take it from there and try and gradually improve, because there's always safety cars and VSEs that tend to interrupt the rhythm of the race. So hopefully it all suits us and it goes in our favour and we can have a good race. So that being said, let's jump into it for round 15 for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Right then, getting ready for the 5 red lights for the final time around Sepang. And it's lights out and away we go, and it's a pretty poor start actually. Not any wheel spin by any means, just bogging down quite a bit off of the line. So we're just going to sort of follow the traffic into turn 1 and see what they do. Braking a little bit late, see if I can get a couple of moves, getting on the inside of a couple of Saubers. We've got Ricciardo there in P16 who might have had a grid penalty in the Red Bull. We're going to go around the outside of the Sauber here, but he's going to just put me out to dry on the curb there. Ericsson being absolutely ruthless in his defensive manoeuvre. I think he has Wehrlein on his inside, but even still, just completely ran me out of road there. So right now, a couple of corners down and we're still in P20. Not ideal, but we'll make it work. now right behind Pascal Wehrlein. Let's see if we can try and get past him. We've got so much more grip around the outside that we just get past him easily and then take the inside for the next corner. And we're going to get a run on Marcus Ericsson as well as we go into the double apex right-hander of 8 and 9, I believe. And there we go. P18, nice double overtake on the Sabres. Up next, Kevin Magnussen. Oh, that was very close. Last minute decision to get out of that one, and was a good choice, but Magnussen has responded nicely, and he's actually managed to hold on. But I'm going to go back up the inside here. We're both on the same tyre, so it's a level playing field, and we have way more downforce than the Haas car, which is now one of the worst cars on the grid, it has to be said. I think it might actually be the worst car, along with Toro Rosso and Sauber, so those guys need some rethinking. But right now, P17 after lap 1. Carlos Sainz up next in the Toro Rosso. Let's try and hunt him down. Picking up the toe. Will I get a go into turn 1 on the brakes? Yes, I will. On the inside of Sainz. The question is, they'll really hold it on my outside. He's got a bit of front wing end plate missing on the left, on the right hand side. I can just about see that as he runs me out of road as well, just like Ericsson. The AI being very aggressive with their defensive driving, but again, we have to back out of that one. But Sainz should be fairly easy to pass due to his front wing damage. I think I'm going to easily have him on toast around the outside here, like I did with the Wehrlein, but I think it's going to be an even easier move still because he's going to have to get out of the throttle. So here we go, through the flat out right-hander, and to be fair, he's holding it quite nicely, but it's going to hurt him through here. As you can see, understeer is wide, and we've breezed past the Spaniard, and we can now chase after Rick Bobby, the Honey Badger. Okay, then on to lap 3, DRS enabled. Ricciardo struggling to get past Danny Kvyat here. He pulls to the inside of the Russian. We're just going to watch this battle unfold as Kvyat locks up, and that is going to be a very easy move, thank you very much. And we're now up into 15th place behind Ricciardo, who's behind Van Dorn, who is behind Roman Grosjean. So let's try and get past another series of cars and progressively make our way into the top 10. DRS activated for the first time. We're gaining on Ricciardo, but not enough. Van Dorn's trying to have a go at Roman Grosjean here into the final corner, but we're going to set ourselves up for a nice bit of traction and exit speed out of the final corner. Van Dorn weaving all over the back of Ricciardo. We're picking up a slipstream now on Rick Bobby, who actually closes the DRS and backs out of it. We're going to go for the triple overtake. Very late on the brakes at the inside of Grosjean. Bit of contact, admittedly, but we have made the move work. I've got car to my right, car to my left. I've got to be careful here. Outside line, but we've made it work, and it's a triple overtake into the first corner, getting past various cars at once. And that is us now in P12. Very nice triple overtake there. A little bit of contact, but still executed beautifully, and we're now looking well on target for at least a P10 finish here. Oh, we've got a car off here, and it's Fernando Alonso, who I just heard on the radio he's got a mechanical problem. He's got a left rear puncture in that McLaren Honda, so that is us now in P11. Very unfortunate for Alonso, was running nicely in P9 in the McLaren, but that is him now going to be way down the order thanks to that puncture, so we now gain another position, and we are now one position shy of points. Oh, that was very close. Hot on the brakes into the final corner. I'm knocking on the door here to get past Julian Palmer, who is also knocking on the door of trying to get past Lance Stroll. We're going to stay in the toe as long as possible. Pull to the inside. Personal best. Can we get Stroll as well? 2 for 1 on the braking. Oh, that was close. Lock up on the right front. Just had to back out of it. Stroll, though, don't know what happened there. Just sort of backed out of it and sort of swapped across my path. But we are very close. We could line up Stroll for a move into turn 4 here. Nicely done in the slipstream. Stroll goes defensive, so we're forcing to the outside. Do I have to grip outside line? Yes, I do. And that is me overtaking the car that I used to drive on the same tyres. So much more better performance in this car. Okay, it looks like Sebastian Vettel has come into the pit lane along with a few others, so it looks like the first round of pit stop has begun. We're going to see where we feed out as I lose the back end a little bit there. Also, partly thanks to a screen freeze. We still do a personal best though across the line. 33.5, race pace really good on these tyres. Tyre wear is absolutely phenomenal in this car. Really still can't get used to this, but the tyres are barely worn, these soft, so these can go for a long while. And we're looking well on course for the one-stop strategy here so far. We're really catching Verstappen here at the minute, and that Red Bull is not really lapping particularly quick as he stays out for yet another lap on those super softs. So I think he's definitely eyeing up the one-stop onto the mediums. There might be some two-stoppers, which if there is some two-stoppers, that's going to really suit me. As I set a 33.2, really good pace at the minute. I think I'm the fastest man on the track, if I dare say. So right now we're looking very good. Okay, I've got DRS on Verstappen, who stays out for yet another lap on those super softs. So he's going very deep into the race on those tyres, as we've got another car in the pit lane here. I set another personal best, 33 dead. So right now race pace is really good, and we're getting very close to max. I'm going to have a look on the brakes into turn 1. Sebastian sets a 31.5, very good pace. Hamilton in faster still, 31.3 from the Mercedes driver as we go around the outside of Verstappen. But here also, just like the rest of the AI, really forcing me out to dry there on the exit. Luckily I saw it coming, and this time we're very close to Verstappen. We're going to commit to the inside this time. Unlike with Stroll, we'll make the move nicely there. Beautifully done, and we're into second place. Esteban Ocon up next. I'm not sure, I don't think he's the net race leader, but I know he is near the top somewhere, so if we can catch up to him, then we'll be in a good position once we do our stop. Okay, and Ocon now comes in, so we are going to be the race leaders for a couple of laps. Actually, not even a couple of laps, I'm coming in this lap anyway, so let's enjoy while it lasts for one lap here at the Malaysian Grand Prix. We have actually gone briefly from last to first. Right, let's come in for our first stop of the race, attacking the pit entry as much as we possibly can here, making sure that we leave no stone unturned, and we maximise the pace, slowing it all down for 80 now, and there we go. Phenomenal pit entry, absolutely spot on. And that was a very good first stint for us on those soft compound tyres. Now we're going to see what our pace is like on the mediums. I feel like Hamilton and Vettel will have to two-stop this race, so that's going to be good for us because we're actually ahead of them right now on track because they were behind us. So they need to be really quick. They will have the advantage on tyres to, catch me back up. That's, what's the word I'm looking for? That's a given. But I do have track position, which is crucial. Also, we are going to rejoin right in front of Nico Hülkenberg here in this traffic, so that is also crucial for us. Nice bit of clean air to try and work in, and we've rejoined in P10. So let's try and crack on with it now, and let's see what the pace of this car is like on fresh, new medium tyres. Okay, we've got a couple of cars in the pit lane. Also, Hülkenberg and them super softs is faster than me at the moment, so I've got to be careful Hülkenberg doesn't overtake me because he's really rapid on those super soft compound tyres. Okay, that was a bit of a better lap. Magnussen comes in, so we're now going to get promoted up into P7. And now we're going to see the guys in front of us actually start to come in. As we see, our personal best, 32.7, that's not too bad. Hülkenberg still keeping the pressure on, but also stretch him a bit on that last lap. Oh, we've got a slow-moving car on the pit straight, and we've got a VSE deployed. I think it's Valtteri Bottas who's got a problem on the pit straight. I think I'm going to guess it's going to be a puncture for the Mercedes driver. So, unfortunate one for him, as you can see there. Going very slow, so Bottas with the puncture. We get promoted to P6 now. Wow. Making great progress here. This is very, very interesting. I think we've got a couple of two-stoppers in front of us. That'd be my guess. So I think it could be at least P4 or 3 even. Okay, Felipe Massa in the pit lane, so he's one of the two-stoppers. That's going to promote us up into P5. Hulkenberg has also just come in, so he's got the pressure off me now, so I can chill out for a bit. P5 as things stand. This is looking very good so far. Still 11 laps to go. Okay, Sebastian's come in, and I think Hamilton's right in front of him, so we're going to get another 2 more places here to promote us to the podium, I think. Unless they've really had some great pace in that middle stint. I think we should be okay to come out in front of them. And yes, we are. There's Vettel on softs, and so is Hamilton on the soft compound tyres. So right now, P3 as things stand in Malaysia. 10 laps to go. Can we bring this podium home? At the moment, nothing's really happening. I think it's going to end like this because right now, Ricciardo's in P4. He's got Vettel and Hamilton right up behind him. But the gap is just under 9 seconds. And I don't think Vettel and Hamilton are going to make that gap up before the end of the Grand Prix. Up front is Perez, and in front of him, I don't know who it is. I want to guess it's Ocon, but I've actually got no clue who it might be. Bottas dropped out. Kimi's no longer driving because I'm in the Ferrari. Verstappen's way down the other one. I passed him earlier, so I can only think it's Ocon who's still in the lead. Okay, this could not be over just yet. Hamilton and Vettel just caught me up by 1.5 seconds on the last lap. That's more or less what they're pushing. I've increased my pace now to match my personal bests again. But those two are lapping really rapidly at the minute. 5 laps to go. Gap is 6.5 seconds. They could catch me on like the last lap / penultimate lap maybe. Vettel has now overtaken Lewis Hamilton. I'm still pushing here, looking for my personal best, but those two guys are really lapping at a pretty good pace. Vettel 4.7 with 3 laps to go next time we cross the line. Right now we're doing enough with that pace. Personal best 32.6. Gap is 3 seconds with 2 laps to go. Really though, you've got to take a second off of that. It's 2 seconds because once Vettel gets in DRS, it's pretty much the gap gets eradicated then. Right, so the last lap of the Grand Prix. You can see the minimap there, right there. It's going to be really close. Vettel is 1.1, so he's probably going to be within my DRS by the end of the lap. So we need to be very, very ready for this. Right, into the first of the DRS zones, and it's going to be really the only one because this is what it's going to come down to. I can see Vettel on my mirrors, and I have to go rich mix to try and defend. Here he comes. I'm going to go defensive, force him out wide. Hold it on the inside line. Hold it on the power. Nice and easy. up to the line. It's going to be a drag race. Do we hold on? Yes, we do. We hold on to the podium. Get in. Massive 15 points. Whew. Right, that was a very long race, but that was very, very enjoyable. Fighting through the field is way more fun than just controlling out the front. I mean, you know, I know what I prefer in terms of, obviously, if you can just control a race at the front, it's very easy, but even the last race in Singapore, it proved that, you know, being out front the whole race doesn't mean you're going to win it, because sometimes it can go wrong. You know, a safety car, a dodgy strategy call, or a little bit of weather thrown in there, and you can get it wrong. Whereas, you know, coming through the field, you just sort of got to go with the nothing to lose attitude. But Force India pick up a 1-2, really good result for them. They'll be absolutely ecstatic with that one. They'll be very, very happy with that result. But in terms of us, third place, we beat Vettel, we lose points to Perez, but all in all, not too bad. But there is your top three, and now we're going to move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings. Right, so looking at the final race results, it's a Force India 1-2. Ocon wins ahead of Perez, and we come home in third place, making it a Ferrari 3-4, with Vettel in fourth place. Hamilton highest, and the only Mercedes in the top 10 in fifth place, with Ricciardo in P6, recovering from P15 on the grid, with Lance Stroll also in P7, and Jolyon Palmer in 8th, scoring good points, with Hulkenberg in P9, and Van Dorn riding out the top 10. Verstappen and Massa just missed out on the points, and the big news, apart from Kvyat retiring, Bottas having that tyre problem, he finished way down in P19, 2 laps down. But in terms of the driver standings, you can see we are still 109 points clear, and we can clinch a championship in the next race, guys. If my maths is correct, if we lose only 8 points to Perez, we're champions. So we can afford to lose 8 points and still become the champions in the next race. So looking forward to it. Hopefully we can make it happen. Vettel right now mathematically cannot win the championship, so it's only between me and Sergio Perez. In terms of the constructors, though, you can see Force India retake the lead by 4 points after that 1-2, so the constructors is still all to play for, and there's lots of points on stake in the last 5 races. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, and we're now going to move into the laptop. So by popular demand, you guys want to see some upgrades, so let's go and get an engine power one, which will be for the fuel. That'll be only 4 weeks, so that should arrive in Brazil. That's going to be a pretty hefty upgrade, which will arrive right towards the tail end of the season. And then we still have some points to burn, so we'll probably go for another major one in the chassis, which will take 4 weeks to arrive also, and will arrive for Brazil. So there we go, 2 upgrades purchased. Those 2 will take us quite a long way away from the rest of the pack. So Force India better bring some upgrades to try and compete with us, because we're bringing the big guns for the last 2 races. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. If you have, then please do drop a like on the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and please turn on notifications to not miss any uploads from me. And finally, do check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them by chance. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.